Hey girl, hey. Assuming that 90% at least of my listeners are women. Should not assume. Because when we assume, we make an ASS out of UME. I love it. I love that. Have you heard that? Who hasn't heard that? But maybe there's one person out there who's not heard that. When you assume, you make an ASS out of UME. Stop. Hi. I am grateful to be chatting to you today. Let's just chat. We're friends here and we're just going to chat about what's going on. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video on YouTube. It helps me keep going. And if you're listening on Spotify, just hit the follow button and that way you can fucking get notified and shit. Oh, Laura's going to talk at me for 20 minutes again. Cool. I don't know. I like being talked at. I like listening to people. So what's going on with me? I had a 12-hour shoot yesterday with Bella Thorne and my friend Andrew, aka King Batch. Y'all, he hit me up and said, hey, do you want to film this sketch with Bella Thorne? He didn't say tomorrow. I was like, in a couple weeks. And it's funny because normally I say no to things because I just was in my own bubble. I make my own stuff. It was like, I just did everything on my own terms. I didn't really collaborate with a lot of other artists. I just didn't. I didn't feel I needed to. I was like, this is my voice. Like, I've got my own platforms. I don't know. I didn't ever really do that. I did in the beginning and then I stopped. And then now, since my entire life is changing, I'm trying to say yes to things and get out of my comfort zone. So long story long, I said yes to Batch and I had so much fun. I shot for 12 hours. Bella's so sweet and gorgeous and y'all, she's amazing. And we had so much fun together. Also, Batch is like sweeter than I even remember him being. So if y'all don't know King Batch, he was like the king of Vine, and then he's just massive on every platform. He makes comedy content, but now he like sells movies and he's just fucking brilliant. The man's brilliant. And I met him, y'all, like, I'm not kidding you, a decade ago. I think it was like 10 years ago. Oh, I can't believe that. Maybe 8. Okay, sorry. No, like 8 years ago. I was an auditioning actress at the time. I was like barely making a living doing commercials and like bad sitcoms. And I had just done a Capital One commercial where I played a runway model, which is very funny because the other girls that were cast were like straight up runway models. Like that's what they did. Whereas I am a comedian who happens to be 6 feet and lanky. So like I would get cast as models, like because I was so fucking lanky, whatever. So I got cast as this runway model in the Capital One commercial. And like, I'm not really good at the runway walk. Like I never could nail it. I can't even walk in heels, dude. Like I live in like Keds or like random gym shoes that get sent to me that I don't even know the brand. Like I'm literally wearing maternity gym shoes right now. And like, I'm not pregnant at all, not even slightly pregnant. And I'm just wearing these random maternity gym shoes that a brand sent to me. They're very comfortable and they like stretch as your feet like get wider the more pregnant you get. And I'm just fucking wearing these, bro. Like not at all pregnant. Anyway, my point is, And I have like 4 pairs of shoes. Anyway, some boots, but they're flat. They're all flat. Like I don't like heels. I don't like walking in them. I struggle to walk in them. I don't need them. I'm already 6 feet. Like I don't see the point. They're uncomfortable. It's hard to walk and I'm already massive. So like, why do that? But I love looking at girls in heels and I love the way they look. And I'm like, damn girl, always love it. Love it for you. Love it for them. Don't love it for me. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So I fucking do this runway model Capital One commercial where I strut down the runway and I was like horrible at it. There was this beautiful supermodel that I did it with, and her name was Portia, and she was brilliant, like so gorgeous and sweet. And she comes up to me after and she's like, "What the fuck was that walk? You look ridiculous." No, I'm just kidding. She was like, "Hey, you like, what's up with you?" And I was like, "Oh, I want to be on sitcoms. Like I want to be on SNL or on sitcoms. Like that's why I'm here, And she's like, "No way." She's like, "I've done stand up." And I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, you want to write a web series with me?" And I was like, "Web series? What the hell's that?" And she's like, like a series for like YouTube. She's like, "I know some people with like big YouTube networks. We can like pitch the show to them." And I was like, yeah, like that sounds pretty cool. A web series. I never really saw myself doing that. I saw myself more, on like NBC or like, but yeah, this whole web series, that sounds interesting. So we exchanged numbers and then I kind of like forgot about it a little bit. Anyway, then I'm going to like my 3rd or 4th callback for this pilot that I was convinced I was going to book. And it was like a fucking lead role, really funny pilot. I'm like, this is going to be the next Friends and I'm going to be the next Phoebe. And this is it for me. Like I know it. And then I get a call from my agent saying that they have given the role to Brooklyn Decker, who like is super hot, but like, I'm sorry, I'm funnier. And it was a comedy. Like she's hotter than me. I'm funnier than her, but she got the role. And I was so angry and I was so devastated by this. And I just remember feeling done because my whole life at that point was rejection after rejection after rejection. Just people constantly saying, you're too short, too short, too tall, too thin, too fucking dumb. Like just, it was constant rejection, and it was like, I was so powerless over whether or not I booked the role. And I would just audition for thing after thing after thing, and I would get my hopes up. And some of my actor friends are really, really good at auditioning and then like letting it go. And my agents would always be like, "Go have fun in there. Like have fun, just have fun." What? Have fun? The amount of pressure I felt going into every room because you care so much and you want the job so much. And you go in, you're sitting in this casting room with 8 other lanky blonde girls that look just like you. And you're hoping and praying to a God you don't understand that you're going to book the damn role. And then you don't. And you're just supposed to be okay. Anyway, I really struggled. I struggled to let it go. I struggled to not get obsessed with roles and put too much importance on them. I was not good at it. I have friends who are really good at it. I was not. So anyway, I get the call saying that I did not get the role, that I went to Brooklyn Decker, and I was so fucking mad. I'm sorry, I swear, dude. I just do. I'm sorry. I'll work on it. And so I'm driving and I'm angry. And then I remember that girl from that Capital One commercial asking if I wanted to write a web series. And at that moment, it was like, screw it. I'm done waiting for people to write the role for me. I need to write the role for myself. So I called her and I was like, "Hey, remember you wanted to write a web series? Well, let's do it." She was like, "I'm down." So we literally met the next day. I can't remember if she came over to me or I went to her, but we sat down together and we wrote out a whole treatment for a whole series about these 2 like aging models who were incredibly underqualified to do anything else. And you just watch them fall and fail. And it was called Hungry. And we pitched it to a YouTube network and they bought it, and we shot like 3 seasons of it, and it was the coolest thing in the world. And I remember thinking once I started working on this project, I'm never going back to being an actor. I'm now a creator. I'm now a writer. I'm now, in more control of my own destiny. And I'm going to create, I'm never going to wait around for a role. I'm just going to write it and make it come hell or high water. So that was a really liberating moment. The reason I tell this story is because King Batch directed the pilot. And Portia she was like, girl, I know this guy. He's a really good director. She's like, and he has 50,000 followers on YouTube. And I was like, what? 50,000? And she was like, yeah, 50,000. She's like, his name is King Batch. I'm like, okay. So Batch would come over to Portia's apartment and the three of us would sit around and like work on the pilot and rehearse it and like, punch up the jokes. And then he fucking came and directed. And then literally like within 6 months after directing our pilot, he blew up. All of a sudden I see a copy of the New Yorker and he's on the cover, and the cover reads The King of Vine. And he like just blew up on this app and he was just everywhere. And what's really cool is he's maintained his success, and you could just tell he does it because he absolutely loves it. So anyway, it was really cool to be around other people like that who are so obsessed with creating content. And now he's moved on to movies, but regardless, it's all, making art. And so it was really, really, really cool. I met this other guy, Adam W is his name. I'm sure you've seen his stuff on like Instagram or TikTok, but he's really, really funny. And so we're going to collab. And then that girl, Hannah Stocking, who she's another one, just so funny. And so all these creators that I've never worked with before. And it's just exciting. It's exciting for me to open up my world a bit and just meet new people and collaborate with different brains. And it's really exciting. So I was so happy. So maybe you're hearing this because there's something you were going to say no to, and you should maybe say yes to it. I don't know. My mom, speaking of saying yes to things, saying yes to life, my mom, it was the cutest thing in the entire world. She texted me last night. I get home at like 9 p.m. and she texts me at 11:30 p.m. my time, so 2:30 a.m. her time, saying, I'm at a sleepover right now with Jan and Missy. We have been laughing the entire night. It is so much fun. Laura, value your friendships, honor your friendships, nurture your friendships, Laura, because we are 67, 69, and 70 years old, and we are having a sleepover, cracking up all night, and it's amazing. And I just like wanted to tear up and cry. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. She's like, what 70-year-old do you know having a sleepover right now? And she was apprehensive to go. Like she had told my sister, like, I don't know, a sleepover? Jan's crazy. And, but she did. And she was so happy she did. She's had so much fun. Anyway, I just loved that. And that was saying yes to something that maybe she would have initially wanted to say no to. So that's kind of a fun thing, is to just start saying yes more. But then the people pleasers are going to be like, no, I need to stop saying yes. I say yes too much. It's definitely a balance, and you know where you are with that, whether you're saying yes too much or no too much. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on with me. Comment below on my YouTube if you have any comments about this podcast. Let's take a deep breath together. I'm very happy about saying yes to life. That feels good. And the only other thing that's kind of keeping me sane is bringing myself back to the present moment, which sounds like, okay, Laura, but seriously, Because like right here, right now, in this moment, like right now you're listening to this or you're watching this, we're okay. Like we are okay in this very moment. Like we're not, oh, look to the left, look to the right. No lions, no tigers. Nobody's chasing us unless you're being, it's possible that one of you are being chased right now while listening. And if so, run faster. But for the rest of us, we're okay in this moment. And it's like, we don't know what's going to happen in 20 minutes or in a year or, but we can just continuously, let me keep it about me because I'm not fucking preaching here. I can just continuously make the decision to bring myself back to this moment in time. And in this moment in time, I'm okay. And there's something very nice and lovely about that. So I would say consciously practicing being in the moment is so powerful, especially right now when my life is full of unknowns. When I tell you I have no idea what's to come. And that can be scary, but it's okay because right now in this moment, we're okay. I'm okay. You're most likely okay. And that's wonderful. So yeah, I suppose that's where I'm at, saying yes to life and bringing myself back into this very moment right now, right here, right now. I've talked about it before. One of my favorite books, The Power of Now. Eckhart Tolle, the author, believes that our natural state is bliss. We're actually meant to live in a state of peace and bliss even. And that the reason that most people are riddled with depression and anxiety is because they're either focusing on what was, which leads to depression, or what's going to be, which leads to anxiety. What is anxiety? Fear of the future. So the only way to attain true inner peace and bliss is to bring yourself back right here, right now, in this moment. It's so simple, yet so not. That's why it's a conscious thing I have to remind myself throughout the day to bring myself back to this moment. Anyway, I'll end with that. I love you very much. And until next week, have an amazing day and lots of love to you. Okay, bye.